Hi everybody, Jamie Pagel here. I'm a broker with John L. Scott, and I am interviewing Kira Truett today. She works with Network Home Loans. Here she is.
Right.
She's one of my go-to lenders because she knows her stuff. She's efficient and she's great at communication, which is key in buying a home, because if I can't get a hold of your lender, I'm going to be going crazy, and so are you. So it's great to be able to work with somebody that actually communicates you. Even just a call to say no news, just to let you know nothing's happening, is kind of reassuring and helps to alleviate some of the stress.
I'm working hard for you, I promise. Nothing you need.
Right. But you know, especially the first-time home buyers, it makes a huge difference.
I think so. I think silence is deafening. It's like, oh,
yeah.
You start thinking about things that are going wrong. It's like, no, we're just waiting for the appraiser. It's
right.
fine.
Yeah, their mind starts spinning to like the worst case scenario. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to get
true.
this
And
home.
To have somebody that's like, it's 10 o'clock at night. I at least can text her.
yeah, exactly.
You're like, it's all right.
Yeah. So I get asked a lot about the pre-approval process, what it takes, what they need to have ready to come to you, and how long it takes.
Oh, yeah, so I'm really stacking up those questions.
Yeah.
Pre-approval, as long as you come in with all of your documentation to begin with, is actually really quick. It can usually be just a 24-hour turnaround, sometimes faster, sometimes. If you've got some interesting situations, really this is a time you want to be really honest with your loan officer, because some people have some more challenging things and some people are really straightforward, which is great.
Right.
As far as when I mentioned your documentation, you really want to have your last 2 years tax returns and W-2s or 1099s, depending on what kind of situation you have there, but all your tax documents. If you submitted it to the IRS, I would like a copy, please. We also want your last 2 months of bank statements and a month's worth of pay stubs. So if you're paid on the weekly, we want 4 of them. If you're paid bi-weekly, we want the last 2. So just so we can get an overall picture as far as what kind of money is coming in, and we're also going to then pull a credit. Well, we're going to pull your credit and find out how much money is going out, because we don't ever want to get you in a position that you can't afford. That is completely the goal. There was that whole recession thing you may have heard of, where people
just a little bit, yeah.
It might have been in the news.
A little bit.
Yeah, so we really have changed lending since then.
Good.
And we're making sure that people are not getting into a situation that they can't afford.
Now, these documents, you say the paycheck stubs and the bank statements, does any of that need to be resubmitted? Like if the process is longer than 30 days, which it can happen, sometimes it takes a couple months.
Well, really, for the entire amount of time that we are working together, we're probably going to be continually asking you for updated statements. So don't be surprised, and I do warn my clients that, like, okay, I know you've got your bank statement coming out in 3 days. Just a reminder, I'm going to want those. It doesn't mean that there's anything going wrong with your loan whatsoever. It's just until the keys are in your hand, we need to keep these documents up to date. So for the pre-approval, we're going to make sure that the last couple months were great, and then we're going to
that it continues to be great.
Yeah, and just those ones, like your tax returns are probably going to stay consistent, at least at this time of year. I know when we're at that stage, like getting close to April, we add that into like, oh no, I need last year's taxes also. Okay. But otherwise, pretty much we just want to keep that a clear financial picture that we know that nothing's changed. And during this time, don't mess with your credit very much.
Yes. Don't buy a new car
or
a washer and dryer.
I would love to see your new car after you close.
Yes, definitely.
Not before.
Right.
It's just not something that we need.
Yes.
So yeah, keep that even. Pay attention. This is where it's really important to have a good realtor to know if the refrigerator and washer and dryer are staying with the house or not.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
Exactly, and that is fine, whatever you choose, but please don't take out a credit card for that refrigerator until after the keys are in your hand. And after that, go forth.
Okay, good.
But yeah, keep even keel.
Sounds good. Now, when they get the pre-approval, where does the loan amount come from?
So we're really taking into account your entire picture. So we're going to go through what's called your DTI, your debt to income ratio. We want to know how much money is coming in versus how much money is going out, including the potential next mortgage. So again, I don't want to get you into a position that you can't afford. So we're not going to let you get into a mortgage that's 100% of your amount that's coming in. That's not a good idea. So really that percentage will range depending on what loan program you're using. Like it could be 30%, it could be 45%, could be even 50%. It really depends on a lot of situations. So I can't give you an exact number there, but we're going to not let your debts, which includes the monthly mortgage payment in addition to things like your credit cards, your minimum payment, weirdly, on your credit cards. If you've got a car payment, we're going to factor that into the numerator. Then it's going to be divided out by your total income before taxes.
Okay.
So if you think about if you had that high end of 50%, that really means that your monthly living money is less than 50%.
Right.
Because you've got taxes taken out of that too, and no one's escaping taxes. So if you're comfortable with that, then great. But a lot of people, even if you might have that maximum purchase price, you may not actually want to spend that maximum purchase price. But it's nice to know it's there.
Okay, good
And these
to
are
know.
important questions to ask your loan officer. Like, great, here's my
Yes.
maximum. But if you don't want a $4,000 a month payment, that seems like painful. Maybe
Right.
you don't have to spend
Right.
that at all. Like if you can go from there or lower, and that's an okay thing.
Okay.
So yeah, and then make sure you've got a great, again, I'm going to keep stressing the importance of a great realtor, because you don't want them to get you in a position that you're not comfortable with.
That's true.
So knowing that, like, yeah, I'm all the way approved to this huge amount, that's great, but I'm only actually comfortable here, you should be setting up your
Right,
searches within a
yes.
comfort zone.
Yes.
And you might stretch for like the perfect house where there's no commute and you might be saving on gas, and there might be things that you can adjust within there.
Yeah.
But again, having that conversation at the beginning and telling your realtor, this is
very
really
important.
what I need, and in this area I can spend a little more, but if I'm all the way out in
Right.
Duval, maybe I can't, or something, depending on what your commute is.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That is a very big deal. Now, do they have to have a down payment?
Really, again, depends on that loan program. I mean,
Okay.
we love to see a 20% down payment. Who doesn't? That's going to avoid
Yeah.
that mortgage insurance.
But not everybody has 20%.
Weird, I know. We're trying hard. But you really don't, depending on your loan program. You could have a 0% down.
Okay.
You could do FHA, which only requires 3.5% down.
That's not bad.
If you're a first-time home buyer, some conventional loans only require 3% down.
Okay.
That's amazing, really.
That's
And even
really
a
good.
conventional, like if you're not a first-time home buyer, you still might only be looking at 5%.
Okay.
That's great. That is way less money. And if you're really thinking about rents right now, with rents going up and people wanting first
rents are
and
so
last
bad.
and security deposit, and heaven forbid you have a pet, or you
Oh,
want
yeah.
a parking space,
Right? Or garage.
right? Like by this time you might be already adding up to the amount that it takes to get that only 3.5%.
Right.
Or maybe you've got a gift, or maybe you've got a 401k that we can tap into to get that last little bit or something. There's so many options. Really, if you have a goal of buying a home, it's worth talking to a professional and just find out.
At least
And
see what your options are.
Exactly. And find out, then you have an end mark, like, okay, if I do this, this, and this, maybe I could be buying a home in the next couple months.
Yeah,
You might be
that's
really
true.
surprised.
Very
Or even
true.
if it's a year or 2 years out, that's okay too. Just knowing what steps it takes to get there is going to help you reach your goal, as opposed to just completely flying blind.
And another question I have is, you say first-time home buyer.
Mhm.
Does it really have to be the first home they're ever buying, or is there a guideline that?
That is a
differentiates that?
fantastic question. I think a lot of people don't know that too. If you've not owned a home in the last 3 years, only 3,
And who
you are
sets this?
considered government. What do you mean?
Okay. I don't know. Is it
Yeah,
different per
no.
state? Is it
Okay,
like
yes.
with this lender?
Federal government, you're considered a first-time home buyer if you've not owned a piece of real property, so real estate, in the last 3 years. And you
That's
know what?
really
If maybe
good.
you got married and your partner has owned a home in the last 3 years, but you haven't, guess who's still a first-time home buyer?
Nice.
Right.
That's why you need a lender who knows the programs.
Thank you. Happy to help. Love answering questions. And just like a realtor, a lot of times you want to interview a loan officer as well and make sure that you've got a good connection. So I
Yep.
love meeting for coffee and things like that as well. Just make sure you feel comfortable with it. I also do first-time home buyer classes. In fact, Jamie and I have taught those together as well, just to kind of help as many people as possible really understand each of the processes. We're also going to be having a series of videos with frequently asked questions. I know loans get a lot of questions that are
Right.
basic to somebody who's in it, but for most people, you don't know what DTI is, and no one really expects
Right.
you to know. So
Or what
we can
different
really get into
programs
that.
are out there.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and there's a lot of programs. So look for future videos. I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel. I will let you know as soon as that's actually up. Otherwise, you can also follow me on Instagram, #TruettInLending.